Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Big Short Show, and today I have a very special guest for you. Her name is Sehr Mahmood. She is an immigrant who came from Pakistan all the way to Canada, and you know what? She is one of the best real estate agents of Toronto, and today we are going to get into her story and how did she make a big empire for herself. So watch till the end, we have amazing stuff for you.
I'm back in my bag, yo. So, down back in my bag and I ain't gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal.
From the first year earning $100,000 and 10xing 10 times the next year directly. I mean, this is one of the coolest story that I've ever heard. And the most exciting part. Hey Sehr, welcome to the show, and just for the audience, like 1% of the audience who doesn't know you, just tell something
Only
about yourself.
1% of the audience doesn't know me?
Yeah.
So I'm a pre-construction real estate broker here in Toronto. I'm with Royal LePage Signature and I have my own team called My Condosaurus. We're currently doing 450 deals a year,
Wow.
year over year, and I've been in the business for about 10 years now.
Oh, that's great. So Sehr, just give a little bit of a background, like what got you to the place that you are today? How did it all started? How did you came as an immigrant to Canada?
So I actually grew up in Karachi, Pakistan. I was actually very fortunate at that time that after high school, my parents sent me overseas to Boston, Massachusetts to go get an undergrad degree from a top university called Tufts University.
Yeah.
And I was studying economics. Now, 2 years in, I was back home in Pakistan, and literally one day in the middle of the night, my parents opened the door and they said, we have to go. And I said, go where? And they said, we have to pack our bags and leave the country.
Wow.
And I was like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on, but apparently we had a business deal go bad, things were getting unsafe for us, and we literally flew overnight, like we left the country. And then unfortunately, because our assets were stuck back in Pakistan, my dad had this financial hardship.
Yeah.
I was kind of in a situation where I could no longer afford to go to Tufts University anymore. The tuition was $35,000 US a year. My father was kind enough to give me his last, or what he told me, his last $18,000 and said, you have to make this work for the rest of your life. And I said, okay, well, I have 2 years of university. I need 70,000 US, not 18,000 Canadian. And he just kind of shrugged and said, it is what it is. So I did my research. I found out that Canada is way cheaper for university than the US. So I transferred here, finished my undergrad. I was very excited. Got my first job at ING Direct. It was for, I don't know, guys, $29,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
Very low salary, but I was super excited.
Yeah,
you know, it was like
100%.
$2,000 a month for me. I was like thinking, this is great.
But was it easy for you to get a job right away? Like how
It
did you
was
manage to
easy
get
for me to get a job right away, but 2 weeks in, they called me and said, oh, sorry, we have to cancel our offer. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, oh, we didn't realize that you were an immigrant. You're not Canadian.
You're a student on a student visa.
You're on a student visa and we have to sponsor you. And I didn't even know that this was a thing.
Okay.
Like I was very, very naive at that time. So I was very, very defeated, upset, but I was able to finally find a very, very small company that was willing to sponsor me. So I'm very, very blessed that they were willing to do that.
Right.
But I wasn't making much money with them. They were paying me $700 a month
I'm staying in Toronto.
to stay in Toronto. So I was living on, guys, like $700 a month for like the first year, and then they increased it to $1,200 a month for the next 2 years. But I was like, I said yes with a smile, and I'm actually grateful to this day because it allowed me the opportunity to get my immigration, to get my status, and then actually to start building my life the way that I wanted to build it. So I knew that like if I just stuck it out, everything will be fine because I believed in myself.
Right.
I said, what do I do next? And then because I was so lost, I said, okay, let me just do my MBA. So I went and got a loan from RBC for $80,000,
Okay.
did my MBA, graduated in the middle of the financial crisis, which was the worst,
2008.
absolute worst timing.
Absolutely.
And now I'm there with no job and $80,000 in debt. And I said, what next? So when I got my real estate license, I'm like, okay, now what? I didn't have a database again. You know, didn't grow up here. I didn't have any family. I didn't have a network at all. So I said, okay, let me start by putting rental ads up on Kijiji. And that's how I made my living. And I did 120 leases my first year of real estate.
Wow.
My broker was like, I've never seen anything like this, you know? So I worked really, really hard. I made 100 grand my first year. But
wow, you made 100 grand the
first year.
Wow.
So for me, I was very happy at that time. But I didn't know any better, you know? To me, I was like, wow, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
But what those leases gave me was a foundation. So now I had all these clients that I'd done rentals for. I knew how to talk to people. I knew what kind of questions buyers asked, what kind of questions landlords asked, tenants. So I really learned to deal with people. I got to know every single building in Toronto through these rentals. I really grew my knowledge very, very fast. And that was a real blessing. Then the next year, you know, somebody invited me to a pre-construction event. I went along and I said, you know, I saw them sell 7 units in one day. And I said, I can do this. So literally I went back to my database that I built over the last year, made a bunch of phone calls. And I said, do you have a brother, father, sister, mother interested in buying real estate? Sold 5 units my first weekend.
That's amazing. And see, this is one thing I also want to highlight about it, that how different is pre-construction real estate investing from the rest of the other kind of investing in Toronto. So if you can just give a little bit of understanding.
In pre-construction, it's a very scalable business. It's very different from resale where people are like driving around Brampton, going from house to house with their clients. It's not like that.
It's not like
you can sit in a boardroom, pitch a project, and sell 10 units in one weekend. So I learned that business very, very fast, and I was able to scale, you know. And then that year, then again, I had a new list of clients, and I started to get to know more builders, and more opportunities came my way, and I never looked back from there.
That's amazing. So guys, like from the first year earning $100,000 and 10xing 10 times the next year directly. I mean, this is like one of the coolest story that I've ever heard. So one business advice that would you like to give to the people would help you to get to that level in success?
So I think the biggest advice I can give is you have to be very consistent and you have to practice your skills. So when you think of like the top professionals in the world, like think about athletes, you know? The Raptors practice, they all know how to throw a ball, they all know how to catch a ball, but they practice every single day. But people become realtors and they say, oh, I know how to sell, you know, I know how to do a listing pitch. They don't practice. They practice on their clients. That's not where you're supposed to practice. And then the other thing is, you know, if it's a bad market, they get down, they're not consistent. You have to wake up. Literally, I wake up and I think that I have $0 in my bank account and I start every day in the same exact manner, irrespective of where I am with deals.
Okay, so what do we have here? So guys, this is the wheels which Sehr drives now. Let's have a look at it. And wow, this is amazing. I don't even know the name of this car, by the way. It's Lamborghini for sure.
This is a Lamborghini Huracán Evo. It's a 2021. I just bought this last year. This is actually my summer car. So it's very, very exciting.
This is lovely, but what do you think got you into buying specific this car? How does this represent Sehr as a personality? How would you say that?
Well, I love driving. I'm on the road a lot, so I wanted, you know, something that was comfortable, but yet I always want to keep growing. So in my life, like I just feel that success is not about money, it's about always being able to transition to the next level. In my business, it's about how do I get bigger? So now it's like I want to grow a team, I want to expand my horizons. And the reason I bought this car was, you know, sometimes when you're down or you're feeling demotivated, I come out and I'm like, puts me back, snaps me back into focus, guys.
Focus, yeah.
You know?
Let's talk a little bit about pre-construction. So how do you think one can start investing into pre-construction?
Yeah, so Toronto is actually one of the best markets in the entire world. We're seeing, you know, record amounts of growth. What we've seen in the last few years is obviously not been sustainable. It's 20%. But even if you look at the history of the Toronto real estate market over the last 50 years, we're growing on average 8 to 9% a year. Now, the beauty about investing in real estate and in this kind of asset class versus, for example, stocks, if you purchase stocks, you want to put $1,000, you have to actually put $1,000 down.
Right.
In pre-construction, you have the power of leverage.
Yes.
So if you want to buy $1,000 of real estate, you're only putting 15% down, stretched out over, in most cases nowadays, a 2-year period. So think about this. You're making capital appreciation on the full value of the property.
Yeah.
So let's say you're buying a small 1-bedroom downtown Toronto, 700,000.
Right.
It's appreciating at, let's say, 8 to 9% a year. Forget about the last 2 years where
Yeah.
it's gone up more than that. You know, you're making $70,000 a year, but you're only putting 15% down. So the power of leverage is there in real estate. Secondly, you know, Toronto's been it's a very stable country. People like to invest in Canada because real estate is protected here. We have the Tarion, which is the government body that protects homeowners.
Right.
So if any of your units have deficiencies, it's, you know, covered under warranty essentially. Builders here actually cannot even touch your money till the building is complete.
Oh, wow.
So people have this perception that like, oh, is the builder gonna like run away with my money?
Yeah, like we think about like
It-
how it happens in India or Pakistan.
It doesn't happen like that here.
Yeah.
Here it goes into a lawyer's trust account. They actually can't touch your money in a high-rise condo
Okay.
unless it's finished.
Oh, wow.
So this is something that
So
people don't know.
During all that time, it stays at lawyer's trust account?
Yes,
Wow.
exactly. And then, you know, the main thing is the reason, you have to think about the reasons about what is going to keep driving prices up. One of the main ones is, we're on this immigrant show, is immigration.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last 2 years, the borders were shut, and we saw the hottest real estate market we've ever seen. Think about the fact that 1.9 million people are waiting still to come into the country
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
So these are the factors that are going to keep stimulating growth. You know, and these
Right.
people are coming with capital, they're coming with skills, they're going to either purchase property or be your tenant in a
Yes.
property that you've purchased.
100%.
So these are the factors that make it very, very stable, because we have all these people wanting to immigrate to Canada because of all the great reasons of why we're all here. And that's what's going to keep driving prices up.
So Sehr, tell us something like how much a real estate agent can make in being an agent.
So here's the thing. Millions of dollars. There's hundreds of people who are making millions of dollars selling real estate every single year. However, the reality is that 90% of the deals are done by 10% of the agents.
correct.
So it all comes down to, you know, what you put in is what you get out. And I think that's the message to take away. It's a 24/7 business, right? So you can make millions, but it just depends on what kind of a lifestyle you want, and it's not for everybody.
So my next question is something similar to that, but it is for the audience who is watching this and got very excited and inspired by you. And what if they want to join you? Is it possible that they can join your team?
Of course, I'm looking for hardworking hustlers. Listen, if you have your real estate license and you want to get involved, please reach out to me. If you're hungry and motivated, then I can definitely give you that opportunity.
That'd be fabulous. Guys, now you have an opportunity to make millions of dollars for yourself as well. So let's shift some gears over here. We've been talking about real estate. Now let's shift gears to your project that you've been working on, Animal Welfare Project. Tell us something about that.
So one of the biggest things that I love about real estate and being successful in real estate is that it's able to fuel and feed my other passions. So I love animals. You know, for the past 5 years, I've been volunteering at the Etobicoke Humane Society. I have pets of my own.
Wow.
In the pandemic, I started to go to Mexico quite a lot and bringing back dogs and cats from there every time I traveled. Because I saw the need of, you know, homeless pets over there. In the pandemic, there was no animals available here in the shelters, whereas over there's 18 million homeless dogs and cats. So think about the fact that the population of Canada is 35 million.
yeah.
Half of that is homeless animals in Mexico.
This is crazy.
So it was insane. So I was like, how can I start helping a little bit at a time? So we would take these animals, fix them up, get them the vet treatments, vaccines, and then bring them here and then find them homes. But I wanted to, just like my real estate business where I wanted to scale and grow, I was like, how can I help animals on a mass scale? So I did some research and I figured out that the best way to do this for me right now was to hold a spay and neuter clinic so that the breeding problem stops, because people don't know this, but animals breed 2 2 times a year, and they can have litters of 6 to 8 puppies each time. So if you have 15 new puppies being born every year, they have no food, they're born into like horrendous conditions with disease, you know? So it's better that they're not born, so to speak. Also, when they breed, they pass disease on to each other. So, you know, that was my first step towards doing something on a bigger scale. And I'm hoping that every year I can do 2 to 3, and eventually real estate would help me fund my own sanctuary one day. So
this is so beautiful, and I'm really glad that you took this initiative, and I'm glad to be a little part of it too.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for your donation, by the way.
No problem. And whoever is watching this, I think please connect with Sehr on this, because I think whoever wants to get connected with this kind of project that Sehr is working on, please do. Sehr, where can people connect with you on this?
So you can always message me on my Instagram. I have a GoFundMe link. You can find me regarding real estate, regarding animal welfare at my condo source, and my other Instagram handle is Sehr_MCS.
Okay. Perfect.
And we have, you know, all our links there.
So now we are in the most exciting part of the show, which is the rapid fire round. And here we are going to ask Sehr some rapid fire questions spontaneously, where she has to answer, and let's see how she does with that.
Okay.
Okay, so are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay, then let's go. The first question is 3 things you love about real estate.
Meeting people, seeing new projects, and then seeing those projects come to life.
Awesome. What would you choose as a superpower? Invisibility or flying?
Flying, because I value time, and if there's traffic, I could just get out and go where I need to go ASAP.
No wonder you're a Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Okay. Which is your favorite cuisine?
Indian food, actually.
Okay.
I love Italian and I love Indian.
And what do you like in Indian food?
Biryani.
Biryani? That's my favorite too. Okay. So if you had to start from zero, what would you do today?
If I had to start from zero, what would I do today? Like professionally?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm smart enough, but I would love to be a vet, and I would love to be like an animal doctor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's your alternate career choice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is crazy.
Or own an animal sanctuary and be the vet there and help them.
That's amazing. Okay, so best advice you've got in your life so far?
Be the change that you want to be. So for me, for example, you know, when I go and I see these homeless animals in Mexico, I have to do something myself. It's not enough to say somebody else will do it.
Yeah, okay. So are you a cat person or a dog person?
Both.
Okay. 3 words that define the real Sehr. Sehr is three dots.
Motivated, dedicated, and a hustler.
Awesome. So if you like this video, I'm pretty sure
that you're gonna like this one too.
Take care.